5 years ago, Aaron Gordon was best recognized for his jaw-dropping dunks and electrifying athleticism, the kind of highlight moments that made crowds rise to their feet and left fans replaying clips for days. 5 years ago, Aaron Gordon was remembered as the high-flying showman who helped create the greatest dunk contest of all time and the guy who got robbed twice. But fast forward to today, and he's rewritten his legacy completely. He's no longer just a man who soared over a moving mascot or lost to Dwayne Wade's controversial scorecard. Now, he's an NBA champion, a Denver Nuggets legend, and arguably the most underrated player in the entire league. And when I call him underrated, it's not just because he's delivered two of the most unforgettable game winners in recent playoff history, though that's a great place to start. Those moments highlight exactly what makes Gordon so special: his instinct, timing, and ability to thrive in the biggest moments without needing the spotlight. Take his buzzer-beating dunk against the Clippers. With the clock dying and Nikola Jokić taking his signature shot, Gordon read the play perfectly. He saw the miss coming, positioned himself, and sealed the game with a thunderous finish. But what made it even more impressive was the context. Just a game earlier, the Nuggets were humiliated, and the media had practically buried them. Yet Gordon's resilience, energy, and impact helped turn that narrative around, showing why he's far more than just a dunk contest legend.
Just loss margin of the season at 34, 117 to 83, your final.
I think this series is over, brother. I really do.
And to make things worse, reports at the time painted a grim picture. The Nuggets' locker room morale was said to be low, Michael Porter Jr. was battling a major injury, and Aaron Gordon himself could barely even jump. But that's exactly what defines Gordon's greatness. Even while nursing a serious calf injury, he refused to sit out. Instead, he fought through the pain, playing 43 intense minutes and still finding the strength to deliver a game-saving play at the buzzer. That moment wasn't just about athleticism, it was about heart, toughness, and loyalty to his team. And it's precisely why Nikola Jokić calls him the soul of the team, a title that perfectly sums up Gordon's unselfish spirit and relentless drive.
He deserves it. He's like you said, he's the soul of this team. He's a glue guy. He probably doesn't give them much respect that he deserves, but I think he doesn't need attention, so he knows what he's doing.
But remember, there were two game winners that defined Aaron Gordon, and the second one was completely different. This time, it wasn't about power or timing, it was about pure guts. The Thunder looked like they had the game locked up, but the Nuggets clawed their way back with a few clutch buckets. Then, after Chet Holmgren missed two key free throws, Denver suddenly had life again. The ball found its way to Russell Westbrook, who drew the defense and kicked it out to Gordon. Now, let's be honest, Nuggets fans weren't holding their breath in confidence at that moment. It was a rushed transition shot, no time to set, no rhythm, no hesitation, and yet, Gordon pulled up and drilled it. That's what makes the moment wild. Sure, he shot over 40% from three this season, but history said otherwise. Before that, he was a career 32% shooter from deep, coming off one of his worst shooting years, shaky from mid-range and under 70% at the line. Statistically, he wasn't supposed to make that shot, but Aaron Gordon isn't a player defined by numbers. He's defined by heart, confidence, and the will to rise when it matters most. Nothing in Aaron Gordon's early career suggested he'd ever become a reliable shooter, and honestly, that was fine. He was already a great role player who thrived through defense, hustle, and athleticism. But for Gordon, fine wasn't enough. He refused to accept having a glaring weakness and went to work. What followed wasn't just improvement, it was historic. He didn't just start hitting threes. He became a legitimate sharpshooter while also boosting his free throw percentage by a staggering 15%. To put that in perspective, he's the first player in NBA history to raise both his three-point and free throw percentages by at least 10% in the same season. That's not luck. That's dedication, skill, and evolution at its finest. Those two game winners weren't just highlights, they were proof of his growth, his mindset, and his value as the perfect teammate, the true heartbeat of the Denver Nuggets. Yet, even all of that isn't the full reason he's the league's most underrated player. Because beyond the stats and shooting touch stands a 6 feet 8 inches powerhouse, strong, agile, versatile, and willing to do anything his team needs. He can defend, he can playmake, and he plays with a level of intelligence and selflessness that elevates everyone around him. Is smart, dependable, and a natural leader, the kind of teammate every player wants beside them. That's just the surface of who Aaron Gordon really is, and it already explains a lot about why he's so special. And remember, that's just on the offensive side, because defensively, Gordon is the reason the Denver Nuggets are NBA champions. Sure, last season he battled through injuries and wasn't always at his best, but when healthy, especially during that unforgettable playoff run, he was a defensive wall. He took on nearly every superstar thrown his way: LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, and Jimmy Butler. All in one postseason, and he held his own against each of them. His size, athleticism, and relentless defensive energy make him a rare breed. Just look at him against Devin Booker, staying in front, recovering instantly, using his strength to absorb contact, and his length to force a tough fadeaway miss. Then switch the matchup to Kevin Durant, a 7-foot scoring machine, and Gordon still finds a way. He cuts off the drive, forces KD to pivot, and contests the shot cleanly without fouling. That's the kind of defensive versatility you can't teach. It's instinct, discipline, and effort. And when Denver traded for Aaron Gordon, most called it a balanced move, but looking back now, it might have been one of the most important trades in franchise history. When Denver traded for Aaron Gordon, most analysts saw it as a solid, balanced deal. The Nuggets were getting a starting caliber forward with elite athletic tools and untapped potential, while the Magic received Gary Harris, a future first-round pick, and rookie RJ Hampton. Fast forward to now, that pick still hasn't conveyed, Harris is no longer with Orlando, and Hampton has faded from the spotlight. Meanwhile, Gordon has become one of the most valuable two-way players in the league. Around the same time, wings like Michael Bridges and OG Anunoby earned max contracts, with Bridges even commanding 5 first-rounders in trade talks. You could argue those players have certain edges over Gordon, and maybe they do, but here's the key difference: no one else is in a situation that fits their game as perfectly as Gordon's fit in Denver. Playing alongside Nikola Jokić has unlocked his full potential in a way almost unprecedented in NBA history. Their chemistry is pure basketball poetry: the intuitive cuts, the perfectly timed passes, the effortless understanding between a playmaking center and a slashing forward. Jokić to Gordon assists rank among the highest duos in the league, and there's literally a 13-minute highlight reel dedicated solely to their connection from just one playoff run. Yet Gordon's value doesn't stop at finishing Jokic's passes. He's a capable playmaker himself, often setting up his MVP teammate for easy buckets. Add his elite defense, the kind that turned Denver from contenders into champions, and it's clear, Aaron Gordon isn't just underrated, he's one of the most complete, selfless, and impactful players in basketball today.